Well, greetings, BUS22 students. This is Mr.D, and this is week number 7 in our course on managerial communications. And this week, you're going to be looking at chapters 12 and 13 on informal business reports and proposals. So this is really a chapter that deals with kind of those larger business documents. And it's important for you to understand it. Now, in the past, I've actually required these to be written as a part of the class because this is an 8-week class, and I've switched more to a focus on employment communications. We're not going to be writing any reports, but I certainly want you to understand the difference between a proposal and a report, between an informal report and proposal and a formal one. So make sure you read the chapters. There's going to be questions on it on the quiz and exam that you'll be doing this week and the exam next week. So make sure you do your due diligence. But I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to share my home screen here in Canvas. So we're going to go over the assignments that are this week. And by the way, this is an 8-week class, so you only have one more week to go. And by the way, it's not a full week. Your class will end on the 11th. So keep in mind, I think that's a Friday or a Saturday. However, I said that's officially when it ends, but you can turn things in until Sunday, and then I will get them graded. But please don't go beyond that because I need to get final grades in 5 days after the 11th. So, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I think I did. So you should be seeing my home screen here. And I'm going to go ahead and select Module 3. By the way, this also marks the third and final module of this class. So once again, this is only a 2-week module, but you see them here, week 7 and week 8. And so you have PowerPoints to review. Make sure you read the book on chapters 12 and 13. There is a check-in assignment that asks you to go to the book and give me the answers out of the book. You have a quiz on chapters 12 and 13. And then you're going to be starting your final discussion post, which will be due next week, and then your final writing assignment, which will also be due next week. Now, I highly, highly recommend that you do your discussion post assignment first, because in the discussion post assignment, you will be doing a job search. So you're going to be looking for a job that you either qualify for now or you'll qualify for once you get your associate's degree. So it's kind of preparing you for that. So you're going to be writing a resume for one of those 3 jobs that you find. So you need to go out onto the current open job market and you need to find 3 jobs. They need to be also from 3 different posting sites. So make sure that you know, one from Indeed, one from Monster, one from LinkedIn, whatever. Make sure you find those 3 jobs, and then you're going to be writing your resume based on one of those 3 jobs that you have found that you're qualified for. So make sure you read. There's also some videos you need to watch and you need to talk a little bit, answer some questions about the current job market and how things may have changed today than maybe 10 years ago or so. So make sure you complete this assignment first. And then once you've done the discussion post, at least the initial post, you can comment on other students' posts next week. At least get the initial one started so that way you can take one of the jobs that you found and you can actually write your resume. And that's the next assignment, which you have also 2 weeks to do. Make sure, however, that when you write your resume, you're not just giving me a generic resume, you're tailoring it for that job. So in the objective of your resume, make sure you say what job you're hoping to get. So your resume should include a title block with your name at the very top. Then the next section should be an objective. This is where you're going to mention the job that you're trying to get. Then the third section is going to be your relevant skills to the job. So that could be either a bullet list of sentences, but ideally a bullet list of skills. And then you're going to do your education section next. Make sure you format each section distinct from one another and separate them with the use of text design, headings, lines, etc. So then you're going to have your education section. Make sure you include your current education that you're getting now. A lot of students don't give me that. And then also your work history. So that would be your experience section. Make sure you put your jobs, keep them all distinctly separated from one another. Make sure you include the job title. That's what recruiters really want, is to see your job title. The company's not as important, but make sure you have the company, the dates that you work there, and then, of course, the relevant duties. And those duties should be put in an easy-to-read bullet list and not a paragraph. But make sure you use a lot of text design. Your resume should be very scannable and have high skim value because, quite honestly, it's not going to get read. It's going to get skimmed. So make sure you can skim it very easily and get to the key things that people may want to know about you and your job experience. So that's pretty much it for this week. I will be back again on video next week for our final week. So until then, have a great week. If you need to get a hold of me, please utilize the office hours link in the homepage. In fact, I'll show you that real quick. If you go to home and you select here, there's my office hours. So if any of those office hours work for you, make sure that you meet with me. I'm going to be in my office usually on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then I'm online available on Thursdays. So, all right, have a great week. See you soon.